Hello everyone and welcome back on one of the Petersen Museum's adventures. This morning we left our museum with an amazing group of cars and we headed to Pioneer Town, which is the first stop of our off-road rally to SEMA. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Optima Batteries, KC HiLities, and Jeep for making this possible. Follow along for an amazing adventure.
We've been around, let's just say, about 54 years in the off-road space. KC HiLities is an off-road lighting company. Basically, we light up your adventure.
So we are in the beautiful Southern California desert, close to where I love racing, King of the Hammers, having some fun with a fun squad on the way to SEMA. We've got our Bronco RTR Rover here and a bunch of friends. In fact, we got 3 Formula Drift champs decided to come get dirty.
Most people are attracted to off-roading because it's not something that everybody does. It's not something you do, especially if you're in the city. And so it's something unique. And I feel that that's the thing that draws most people to off-roading. They get to go out and just relax, have fun, and not worry about the stress of life. I'm Josh, and I'm with SoCal Expedition. And today we are leading the off-road leg of the Trail to SEMA with the Petersen's Automotive Museum.
It's really cool to be together out here before the insanity of SEMA that we're about to get to. We've got just about everything on the trail, including full size, what would be considered mall crawlers. We've got a Unimog, and then other trucks that actually belong to be out here, which is very fun and beautiful to enjoy. The weather couldn't be better.
Optima Batteries is first of all, it's in a unique place. Their parent company, Clarios, which you see on the ID Buzz back here. The parent company for Optima has a relationship with virtually every manufacturer in the world, and they're in 1 out of 3 cars that come off the showroom of any brand in the world. It's really a huge brand, and then Optima is the passion side of that. And so having a solid product is the first step, but then having the enthusiasm and the passion and the relationship with the manufacturers to actually go do fun stuff like this with the Petersen. That's what Optima's about. And we're on our way to SEMA, and you just walk around SEMA, 250,000 people, thousands and thousands of cars, and you'll see Optima logos on so many cars around. And people, when they know a good product, they stick with it, and Optima's there to support them, which is awesome. The first car I ever learned to drive stick in was a VW bus, and actually in almost the exact same color as this one. And there's so many stories. You just walk around, people walk up to you and tell stories about how they did road trips in the bus. And in the American car culture, there's something that connects to us with the Volkswagen bus. I love to hear that we are big into off-roading in the States. And I think one of the reasons is it's just another layer of freedom. We love our freedom in this country. And when you're not isolated to just the ribbon of asphalt that's been laid out to you, and you can turn off into the desert and turn off into the woods and make your own path, it's like driving a boat or flying a plane. It's like there's less rules. It feels like more freedom, more control over your own destiny. Plus, the places you get to go and see, not many people do that. And so you feel privileged. And for that reason, I think off-roading is here to stay in the US.
Hi everyone, we finally arrived to SEMA after an amazing drive through the Mojave Desert. We're super excited to be here today, not only to go check out the incredible showcase of insane cars that is here every year, but also because Robert E. Petersen co-founded SEMA back in the 60s. So now let's go inside and check out what's new and what's good. On our rally, we had the great pleasure of driving the perfect car for a 4x4 adventure, a Jeep. We're here today with Scott Brown, who was going to tell us a little bit about what they have on display this year. Hi, Scott.
Good to see you, Luna.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for starting here. Next year, hopefully we can bring maybe one of these concepts on the rally. You did an amazing job. It was a blast. Proud to be part of it. But at SEMA, we like to really show the eye candy and what we can do. They'll take a stock Jeep, and we want to show people that we dream about customizing them. As everybody knows, Wranglers is a blank slate. It's a palette for a lot of people. Right here we've got what we call the lowdown, which is inspired from the lower 40 from 2010.
Remember that?
So, yeah, one of the classic
it was
concepts.
Chopped and then 40-inch tires
with
with high fenders.
Right.
I remember.
It was to not. We didn't want to change the handling that much. Factory suspension works really well, so we didn't want to deal with the suspension. Leave the suspension because it works well, but cut and move things, fenders, and then put big tires on it, right? And change the proportions. This is Gen 2, right? Bigger motor, so a 475 horsepower, 392 motor. But
let's talk about that for a second. Sorry for the interruption, because I drove the 392 Wrangler and it was the best Jeep I've ever driven. And you know how much I love Jeeps, they're my favorite cars. So tell me a little bit about how that integration happened over here. What is the concept?
Well, so the 392 is offered factory in the 392 Wrangler, but this is a crate motor. So if you've got an older Jeep, if you want to do the conversion yourself, a consumer can buy that through direct connection.
Awesome.
And so that's what this is. So this is a crate motor that goes into this, you get that, there's nothing like a 475 horsepower.
That is awesome. Well, and then on the other side, we have something slightly different that does not have a 392 motor, but it shows a little bit of what the direction for Jeep's future is going to head towards. So tell us about that one.
Well, yeah, you had a 4xe on the rally.
Exactly.
Electrification is a big part of all of our brands going forward, right? The 4xe, when you add the electric with the gas motor, it's a 470 horsepower. It's a great package.
Right.
But we have an electro mod, right, which is a 1967 GTX, Plymouth GTX, and that's a full BEV, right? And we took the batteries from a charger. Dodge is about ready to launch an electric charger, right? So we took the batteries from that, or the motor from that, put that in this GTX that we'll show you up front. And so now you've got a classic car that's a full BEV. And what Mopar is doing is exploring the possibilities and talking to consumers to see if that's something they want for their classic cars.
Okay, we're here with Cam Douglas. He's the face of Optima Batteries, our dear friend and partner for our 4x4 rally. There is an incredible show out here, and we apologize because it's a little loud. SEMA Show is about, ladies and gentlemen.
We try to put on an event that has all very diverse vehicles, trucks, motorcycles, everything with an engine that moves, whether it's electric, whether it's hybrid, whether it's gas, mainly gas cars out here today, right? Making all the noise. But stuff that appeals to people's passion. And our products now going through a pretty big evolution from our product sizes that now fit many more vehicles, including new technology, lithium starting batteries, which I have now in my Raptor. We're putting 2 in the Unimog, and a lot of the vehicles that compete here today. It was not always the fastest, but it would go places that no other vehicle could go. The best thing about this truck is, of all the different vehicles that are here, everybody loves the Unimog, especially kids. So it's really fun to bring it out and show people.
And this is where our adventure comes to an end, right next to one of the museum's most beautiful cars. We have here our 1963 Restomod Corvette and our 1964 Chevelle. Both of these cars can be won by entering our sweepstakes. And if you want to see them in person, you can do so by visiting the Sonax and Flex Tools booth at the West Hall at SEMA. And if you have a chance, you should definitely come to SEMA. The show is on until Friday, November 8th. Thank you so much for watching and following along our adventure. We'll see you next time.